بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والعاقبة للمتقين، ولا عدوان إلا على البغاة الظالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين، سيد الأولين والآخرين، وحبيب رب العالمين، سيدنا ومولانا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله في الأولين والآخرين، ورضي الله عن صحابته الغر الميامين، وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. قال الله العظيم في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل إن كان آباؤكم وأبناؤكم وإخوانكم وأزواجكم وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها ومساكن ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. The ayah is very known. We talked about the ayah before. I'm sure many people have heard the ayah before, but we're going to try to shed light on a different aspect in this ayah. First of all, before we start, I'd like to remind myself and you that when you hear the name of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, do not be shy to say it loudly. Sallallahu alayka ya sayyidi ya Rasulullah. This deen that we are part of, this religion that we are members of, Deen al-Islam, if we can summarize it in one word, we can say it's Deen al-Mahabba, the Deen of love, the religion of love. Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands the believers to love their parents. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. Ayah is explicitly directing the believers how to deal with their parents. Even uff cannot come out of your mouth. The love of the parents. The love of the family. And Nabi Na'am sallallahu alayhi wa sallam commands the believers, says, خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِي. The best amongst you is those who are best for their families, and I am the best amongst you towards my family. The love of the family, love of the parents, love of the mother, love of the father, love of the family as a whole, more. The love of the children. And Nabi Na'am sallallahu alayhi wa sallam comes out with Al-Imam al-Hasan on his shoulder and Al-Imam al-Hussein on the other shoulder, and he kisses one time and he kisses the other one time. A Sahabi meets him, says, Ya Rasulullah, you're kissing them? He says, Na'am. He says, do you love them? He says, yes, I love them. He says, Ya Rasulullah, I have 10 kids, I have never kissed any of them. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, what can I do with them if Allah took mercy away from your heart? The love is taken away from the love of the children. The love of the daughters, Fatima al-Zahra. And Nabi Na'am sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells us how we should be loving our daughters, where he tells us how he dealt with his own daughter sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he said, Fatima bid'atun minni. Fatima is a piece of me. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Piece of him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Furthermore, the love of the neighbor. The love of, we said, parents, love of the children, love of the family, the love of the neighbor. ما زال جبريل, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, ما زال جبريل يوصيني بالجار. Jibreel keeps coming and telling me about the neighbor and the neighbor and the neighbor, as if he's almost inheriting from the neighbor. The love of the society. Islam teaches us the love of society. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء عن البغي والفحشاء والمنكر يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. Allah orders al-ihsan, al-adl, just. In your society, you have to be just. You have to have ihsan. Ajib. Ihsan. 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 Well, being good, being decent, being a positive member of your society, a positive member in your community, being a contributing factor to the betterment and the improvement of your family, your society, your community, and the world as a whole. Al-Islam, as a matter of fact, teaches us to love the world and to be the mercy to the world. Why? Because the Nabi A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah says in him, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Now let me stop here. Say al-alamin. What does al-alamin mean? Al-alamin comes from alam. Alam. Ulama tawheed, they say al-alam kullu ma siwa Allah. Everything other than Allah is alam. Makhluq yani. Everything other than Allah is makhluq, creation. This is called alam, yani the universe. From the arsh to the farsh. From the arsh to the dusts. They're all creation of Allah. This is all alam. Huh? And Allah, notice now, Allah tells us that Al-Habib Al-A'zam, Wal-Rasul Al-Akram, Wal-Nabi Al-Afkham, Wal-Nur Al-Mujassam, Wal-Kanz Al-Mutalsam, Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam, was not only a rahmah, a mercy to the believers, and not only to the human beings, but to the alam, to the entire creation, from the arsh to the farsh. يعني النبي صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وآله, he is a mercy to the arsh of Allah. He is a mercy to the angels of Allah, to the malaika. He is a mercy to the jinn. He is a mercy to the animals. He is a mercy to the walls. He is a mercy to the trees, to the birds. All the creation is taking mercy from his source, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You are the ummah of al-Habib. You are the members of the ummah of the Mustafa, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. بلغ العلا بكماله كامل صلى الله عليه وسلم كامل بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله. His beauty حسنت جميع خصاله. Look at anything in the Habib صلى الله عليه وسلم. Just try to investigate, and the more you investigate about him, the more hostage you are taken to his beauty, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The more surrendering and submissive you are to his qualities, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi wa sallam. حسن جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم صل عليه. This is the deen of love. لا, Islam also furthermore, the love of the Sahaba al-Kiram, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Islam teaches us that to love the companions of our Nabi والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. And then Allah says in the end of the ayah, ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. This is indeed the greatest success. Loving of the companions of Rasulullah. Loving of the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Islam also orders to love the family. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. The ayah in the Quran says, قُلْ, tell them, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Tell your ummah. لا أسألكم عليه أجرا. This Quran and this message, I am not asking you any reward in return. إلا المودة في القربى, except that you are kind to my offspring. Kind, مودة, love. هذه وصية النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is the وصية. القرآن mentions it, and then hadith في صحيح الإمام مسلم and others with Tirmidhi, Tabarani and others mention. Third, I left among you two things. If you hold on to them, you will not be misguided. كتاب الله وعترتي أهل بيتي. I have left you the book of Allah and the itra, the offspring, the ulama of the itra of Ahl al-Bayt. فانظروا كيف تخلفوني فيهما في one riwayah. See how you will treat both of them after me. يعني how will you treat the Quran and how will you treat the itra of النبي الأعظم صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم. حتى في رواية في الترمذي, very dangerous رواية, and some علماء went to its تحسين, it's رواية حسنة, والنبي الأعظم صلى الله عليه وسلم says لا والله لا يبغضنا أحد من أهل البيت. By Allah, Nabi is swearing by Allah, no one hates us or has a dislike for us Ahl al-Bayt except Allah will drag him on his face in Jahannam. The love of the Sahaba, the love of Ahl al-Bayt, the love of Ummahat al-Mu'mineen. Ya Nisa al-Nabi lastunna. You are the Nisa of the Prophets. Ummahat al-Mu'mineen. وأزواج أمهات. And his wives are the mothers of the believers. Al-Quran. صلى الله على رسول الله وآله وأصحابه وأزواجه. Notice. And then the Quran also tells us the mahabba of Allah and the mahabba of His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So notice now, the mahabba starts with the mahabba of the father, and the mahabba of the mother, and the mahabba of the family, from the verses that we went through, the mahabba of the neighbor, the mahabba of the society, the mahabba of the community, the mahabba of the world, the mahabba of the universe, the mahabba of the sahaba, the mahabba of ummahat al-mu'mineen al-mutahharat, the mahabba of Ahl al-Bayt, the mahabba of the Quran, because it's the Imam, the mahabba of the Kaaba, فَاجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ. Make the hearts of people fall for the Kaaba, and for the people of this Bayt, Ahl al-Bayt as well. And the mahabba of Allah, and the mahabba of Rasulullah, and the mahabba of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The deen is really a collection, a set of mahabba over mahabba. This is the deen of Islam. هذا دين Islam. And I wonder about those people, merchants of venom. The merchants of venom who claim that Islam actually calls for hatred and division, versus Islam calls for love and forgiving. Islam never seeked to rise on the skulls and bones of people, abadan. In the hearts of people, it was always rising. Because the aqidah, the belief in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam requires mahabba. But now we said all these kinds that are parts of the mahabba of Islam, but the special kind is the last two, mahabbatul nabi wa mahabbatullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-ayah here gives us a very dangerous statement if we're not careful. How so? Look at the ayah. That we start with. قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ أَبَاكُمْ. Say, tell them, if your fathers and offspring and brothers and spouses and tribes and tijara and money and your homes, your cars, things that you have, that are more beloved to you, أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, They are more prioritized in your heart and in your mind than Allah and His Prophet ﷺ, and a struggle in His path. فَتَرَبَّصُوا حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ. تَرَبَّصُوا means you shall wait the punishment. There's a punishment. And if you don't love Allah and His Prophet ﷺ more than you love your father, mother, brother, spouse, money, home, job, car, all these things, if you don't love them more, if you don't prioritize them more, you will be punished. It's not a matter of encouraging you should. It's a matter of punishment. But Usul al-Fiqh, as you all know, when is there uquba? When is there punishment? When you don't do a wajib, when you fail to fulfill a wajib, that's when you're punished. If you don't do a sunnah, and according to the Jumhur, you will not be rewarded and you will not be punished. But if you fail to do a wajib, and in that sense I mean the wajib according to the Hanafis and as a wajib, and also the Shafi'i and Maliki as a fard, if you don't do that, you will be punished. Allah says here, فَتَرَبَّصُوا, you shall await the punishment, which means loving a Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam is wajib and fard. حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ. Wait until the day of judgment comes, and then you'll see the punishment. Is that it? Look at the ayah. Allah finishes the ayah by telling us, وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Not only that you fail to fulfill the wajib, that the person that does not love Allah and His Prophet ﷺ more than his family and more than his money, he is by definition of the Quran fasiq. Fasiq. Wal-fisq, as you all know, again from usul point of view, is not from a saghira. Saghira does not equal to fisq. Fisq is from kabira. The love of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it as wajib, and the one who does not love him more than that, we have to check our hearts. We don't want to just listen. We have to check our hearts. Do we love Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam more than our money, and our jobs, and our homes? Do we prioritize him more than our children, and our wives, and our fathers, and our mothers? Where is the Prophet ﷺ on your list? On the list of priorities, where is he? What number did you put him? Because if he is not number one, then by definition this is fisq, and there is a punishment. So therefore, for those who experience hardships, those who experience difficulties in life, those who experience lack of barakah in their job, lack of barakah in their families, lack of barakah in their money, lack of barakah in their homes, no barakah in their food even, no barakah in raising the children, no barakah in the wives, no barakah in the husband. See where the Prophet ﷺ stand in your priority of list of priorities. Where is he? Because Allah says, فَتَرَبَّصُوا, you shall wait the punishment. Punishment in this life and punishment in the akhirah. وَمَنْ عَرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. Allah says, who avoids my dhikr, فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً. Some people say, well, I don't do dhikr. Dhikr has many meanings. But if I avoid the dhikr, then in the akhirah, here I live, maybe I'll repent before I die. Allah tells us so we understand. Ma'isha, we will have a life filled with difficulties. Ma'ishatan banka. And in the akhirah, وَنَحْشُرْهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. In the akhirah, they will be assembled blind. قَالَ رَبِّي لِمَ حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتُ بَصِيرًا. He says, oh Allah, why are you assembling me blind in the akhirah? And I used to have my vision in the dunya. قَالَ كَذَلِكَ. The answer will come and say, so shall it be. أَتَتْكَ آيَاتُنَا فَنَسِيتَهَا وَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. Our ayahs came to you
and you did not believe in them, you avoided them, and today you shall be avoided and forgotten. And al-dhikr is among the names of Rasulullah. So al-dhikr is al-Quran, na'am. Al-dhikr is the reciting of the names of Allah. Also al-dhikr is al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. He is dhikr sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. في القرآن الكريم في سورة الطلاق ذكرا رسولا. ذكر ذكر هو ذكر صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. And therefore you have to ask him فاسألوا أهل الذكر. نعم. So if النبي is ذكر, so فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. I want to take your attention to also a beautiful aspect in the ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts his name with the name of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yani Allah in the Quran says here, in this ayah that we talk about, he says, أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. So that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is adding the name of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to his name. Out of what? Glorification of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Glorifying him so that he puts that the love of him and the love of his messenger in the same thing. أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Just like in the Quran he said, مَنْ يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. Whoever obeys the Prophet has obeyed Allah. You obey the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هذا تعظيم الاقتران in the Arabic language. If you put two things together, one of them that's greater than the other, that means there's a sign for glorification of the other one. And Allah is glorifying His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're saying, okay, so the deen of Islam is mahabba, we have to love our parents, and we have to love our society, and we have to love our community, and we have to love the world, and we have to love the Sahaba, and we have to love Ahl al-Bayt, we have to love Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, we have to love Allah, we have to love the Prophet, and we have to make them number one, not number two, not number three, because if you make the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam number two, not number one, let me ask you this question. In a race, if you're racing, the one who gets number two is who? Is the first loser. Someone gets number one, and someone gets number two, and then number three, and whatever. Well, the first loser is number two. If you put him on number two, then you are a loser by definition, because the Quran mentions it that way. Make sure. Check your heart today, tonight, right now you are here. Those of us who still repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, put Nabi al-A'lam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam number one in your love list. Number one on your priority list. But when we ask people about the love of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, everybody almost says, I love him. Ask him. Go. You know, sometimes even people who don't even believe in Islam. I met people who don't believe in Islam. You know, we really respect your Prophet and love him. Fine. So, and the Muslims, almost every Muslim asks him, oh yes, I love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By definition, no doubt. The ulama of suluk, they said there is a sign. There are many signs, but today I want to talk about only one sign. That sign of the love is called a shawq. A shawq means the yearning. The feeling that your heart is yearning to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That means when the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioned, your heart has that feeling of yearning towards him, wanting to be with him, thinking about him, making thoughts about him, remembering his words, trying to imitate him. He is in front of you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is in your mind, he is on your heart, he is on your tongue and in your lips, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The poet says, لَإِنْ غِبْتَ عَنِّي. He's calling his Habib. He says, لَإِنْ غِبْتَ عَنِّي وَشَطَّ بِكَ النَّوَى فَأَنْتَ بِقَلْبِي حَاضِرٌ وَقَرِيبٌ. If you are in far away distances from me, distant-wise, you are far away, you passed away to the next world. But أنت بقلبي, you are in my heart, حاضر وقريب, present and near. فأنت بقلبي حاضر وقريب. خيالك في ذهني. Your image is in my head, it's not leaving me. وذكرك في فمي. And your dhikr is always on my tongue. And your love is in my heart. فأين تغيب? Where do you go? I am living with you all the time. Your image is on my mind. Your dhikr is on my tongue. Your name is on my heart. How can you be away from me? فأين تغيب؟ لذلك عند الأولياء رضي الله تعالى عنهم المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم حاضر عندهم. They're with him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, with their limbs, their heart, and every heartbeat. Where will you go? All these things, I am all about you. Shaykh, check ourselves today. We should check our hearts to see, do we have the yearning towards Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam Muslim narrates in Sahih, he says, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying, والله ليأتين عليكم يوم أو والذي نفس محمد بيده, by the one who has nafs of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with him. There will be a time, he studied the companions, there will be a time when one of you will not see me. Now you're seeing me all the time, I'm with you. But there will come some time when you will not see me. Then one of you would wish that would he give أعماله وأهله وماله معهم ليراني, that you would give your whole family and everything you own so you can just see me. This is the sign of the believers. Check our hearts. Do we wish that? Do you wish that? Are you willing to give everything away just to see him? I didn't say to talk to him. It didn't say to receive knowledge from him. It didn't say to kiss his hand. It didn't say to kiss his feet. It didn't say to kiss the feet, the ground that he walks on, sallallahu alayhi, the honorable sand that he steps on. And it's honorable because the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam stepped on it. That's not what it is, just to look at him. Check our hearts, because we have to see whether we are believers or it's lip service. Examples of Shaykh from the life of Sahaba radiallahu anhum. To show you the true believers. The woman in the battle of Badr, all of you know her. She's waiting, the people coming back from Uhud, you know that the Muslims had lots of casualties in Uhud. And the first man that comes tells her, I was next to your husband, and he's a shaheed now. She asks him, she says, مَا فَعْلَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Didn't even flinch, didn't even blink. He's telling her about her husband, she's asking him, what did Rasulullah do? Sallallahu alayhi. Look at the Shaykh. Tell me about Rasulullah, then tell me about everybody else. مَا فَعْلَ Rasulullah. He tells her, هُوَ بِحَمْدِ اللَّهِ كَمَا تُحِبِّهِمْ. He is by the grace of Allah as you would like him. Look at this. Look at the jawab. The way you would love him to be. She can't take him. Next guy, she asks, he comes, he says, I was not, he told you about your husband, I was next to your son. And he was also, he went shaheed. She looks at him and she says, مَا فَعَلَ Rasulullah. What did Rasulullah do? He looks etc. He says, Alhamdulillah, kama tuhibbin. He is, by the grace of Allah, just like you would love him to be. Another man comes and says that your brother was also killed. She tells him, Ma fa'ala Rasulullah. He tells her the same thing. She would not wait, she would run until she sees Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam with her own eyes. And when she is relieved that nothing happened to him, she said this word, كُلُّ مُصِيبَةٍ بَعْدَكَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ جَلَلٍ. Every other disaster other than you, something that happens to you, is insignificant, Ya Rasulullah. Anything other than you is insignificant, Ya Rasulullah. This is the madrasa. This is the education. This is the understanding. This is the higher education. كل مصيبة بعدك جلل. Anything after you is insignificant. Insignificant. Bilal, Habashi, Bilal ibn Rabah, Rahmatullahi alayhi, when he's on his deathbed, he told me the story. To show you the yearning towards Rasulullah. Bilal is on his deathbed and his wife is saying, Wa huzna. Oh, how sad will I be when you are dying. And Bilal radiallahu anhu turns around and says, Wa qarabah. How happy I am. Ghadan. Tomorrow, ألقى الأحبة محمدا وحزبه. I've been waiting for this time a long time. Tomorrow I will be with the beloved Muhammad and his companions. What kind of yearning? To show you that the mahabba is not lip service. It's yearning. Abu Dharr al-Ghafari rahmatullahi alayhi. ما قلت الغبراء ولا ولد الخالق. ما قالت خضراء ولا ذات غبراء رجلا أصلق لجنا من أبي ذر. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that the skies have not given shade and earth has not had the honor of someone walking on it, of someone is more honest than Abu Dharr radiallahu ta'ala. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells Abu Dharr, Ya Abu Dharr, you will live alone and you will die alone. Let's take this. Why? Abu Dharr, you know, he's a how do I say that? Umari kind of Islam. Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Alawi kind of Islam. Or, you know, he eats a piece of bread and then he sleeps on the sand. This is to him, this is how things are. Huh? Yani, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, the man of Kisra, of the Persian king, comes to him and he says, where is your Khalifa, where is your king? They said, looks up under some tree. Maybe he's taking a nap. And how would I know him? What do you mean under some tree? Oh, don't worry, you will know him by his the thawb because it has many patches. Just look for someone like him. Find him. Hada Amir al-Mu'mineen. This is Umar. Ali ibn Abi Talib. Amir al-Mu'mineen used to sweep the floors with his khadim Qanbar. Khadim Amir al-Mu'mineen, karamallahu ala wajhahu wa alayhi salam, his name is Qanbar. Memorize these names, because those are the names of the greatest awliya. The Khadim Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Khadim of Amir al-Mu'mineen is something, is a university by himself. University of Qanbar. Sometime we'll talk about that. But Qanbar was the Khadim, young man from East Africa, something like that. He was the servant of Amir al-Mu'mineen. But then, when Amir al-Mu'mineen gives all the money away to the needy people, Bayt al-Mal, who's going to sweep it? He says, Ya Qanbar, you sweep half, I sweep the other half. And then, the salary of Amir al-Mu'mineen at the end was, there was only 5 dirhams left. Sayyidina Ali looked at 5 dirhams, and 5 or some 5 pounds, let's say nowadays. 5 dirhams. He says, Ya Qanbar, you know, you're a young man. You take 3, I take 2. Go buy yourself something new. I don't need it. Give me some, I'll buy some bread and some yogurt. But here's 3 for you, 2 for me. The khadim, the servant, the janitorial services, the one who cleans for the state, the government that ruled almost 1/3 of the world, shares more salary than the supreme Khalifa radiallahu anhu. Abu Dhar was this kind. And therefore, and Nabi Adam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he knew Abu Dhar would live for a long time after, he told him, you're going to live alone and then die alone. And truly, Abu Dhar radiallahu anhu, when he was going to the desert towards the end of his life, as soon as he got to the desert, he told his daughter, he started getting weak and falling sick, etc. His daughter said, oh father, should I rush and get you some people? Some people are passing by. Maybe they can take you back to Medina so you can get treated. I remember what my beloved told me. I will live alone and I will die in this desert alone. This is where I'm dying tomorrow. Die. The understanding of these Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala. There was Khalid bin Ma'dan. The narration says that this man, from his shawq to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, every night, before when he puts his head on the pillow, he goes and says, he names the names of the Sahaba. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he names Salman, he names as-Sahaba, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, etc. And he says, Hum asli wa fasli. Those are my origin. Those are the people I belong to. He names them by name. And my heart falls toward them. Oh Allah, do not make me live longer without seeing them. And he would repeat this over and over until he gets tired and falls asleep on those sayings. And he doesn't want to even live. He wants to go. Look at that yearning towards Rasulullah. A sign of mahabbah. True. Abdullah bin Zayd, al-Ansari, they came and told him that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away. He made sujood as soon as he heard. He made sujood to Allah and he said, Oh Allah, the last thing I saw was your Prophet. Take my vision, my eyes away, so I don't see anything except your Prophet again. And Allah took his eyes, the man became blind, and he will be assembled and he will be looking at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What kind of understanding is this? What kind of philosophy is this? The poet says about Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his family, فَيَا وَارِثِي عِلْمَ النَّبِيِّ وَآلِهِ. Oh, you who inherited the knowledge of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the family, the offspring, the ulama of the offspring. عَلَيْكُمْ سَلَامُ اللَّهِ دَائِمُ النَّفَحَاتِ. The salam from Allah is continuous upon you. دَائِمُ النَّفَحَاتِ. سَأَبْكِيكُمُ. I will cry for you. I will cry on you. مَا حَجَّ لِلَّهِ رَاكِبٌ. As long as there will be some people who are doing Hajj, I will be doing crying upon you. وَمَا نَاحَ قُمْرِيٌّ عَلَى الشَّجَرَاتِ. And as long as the birds are still singing on the trees, you will hear me weeping upon you. وَإِنِّي لَمَوْلَاكُمْ. And I am your slave. وَقَالًا عَدُوَّكُمْ. And the enemy of your enemies. وَإِنِّي لَمَحْزُونٌ بِطُولِ حَيَاتِي. And I am sad because my life is long and you are already dead. Mahzoon, I'm saddened because of my long life when you already passed away. If there's no shawq, when you hear the name of the Prophet ﷺ, your heart doesn't move. If your heart is dead, there's a time for resuscitation. There's a time to wake up. Because the shawq means the mahabba. If there is no shawq, there is no mahabba. If there is no mahabba, it's fisq. And this deen is the deen of mahabba. صلوا على رسول الله مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم. اسم النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم شفاء. So that some of the ulama, when their murids or their students fall sick, they just say, recite the name Muhammad from your heart. When you feel your chest is tight, just recite the name Muhammad and make salah on him. See how your chest changes. حتى ابن تيمية الحراني الدمشقي الشامي, he writes in his book الكلم الطيب, narrated by Ibn Umar. I'm just saying that because they also narrated. So he says, if your foot, hadith by Ibn Umar, hadith by Abdullah ibn Umar, if someone's foot fell asleep, say Ya Muhammad. فكأنما نشط منك. As you are like standing with nothing happening to it. The name of Rasulullah Shifa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Try it. The name of the Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Shifa. Allah makes his name Qasam. Swears by his name. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد. يعني even the place where the Prophet ﷺ was born and the sand that carried the Prophet ﷺ is swearing by it. Honoring this place, لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا. Why should we love him? Well, we should love him for many reasons. Number one, because he loves you. He loves you. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. He has love for you. Why? He also, why should we love him? Because he guided us to the path of success. Without him we would perish. Without him you would be destroyed. Without him you would be lost. He did not leave one good thing but showed us how to do it. And did not leave one bad thing but showed us how to avoid it. He went to kul khair until you do the khair. And he showed you every khabith until you stay away from the khabith. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the narration is authentic, sahih. He said, or the narration says, that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam recited the surah about Ibrahim, where Allah talks about Ibrahim. قال ربي إنهن أضللن كثيرا من الناس فمن تبعني فإنه مني ومن عصاني فإنك غفور. الله صلوا على رسول الله. بلغ العلا كشف الدجى بجماله حسنت جميع خصاله. صلوا عليه وآله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. Allah. Some people they say again that Islam is a religion of you either believe with me or I will kill you. Religion of violence. Religion of no freedom. Look at the Anbiya of Islam. Look at the Quran.
رَبِّ إِنَّهُنَّ أَضْلَلْنَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ. Ibrahim is saying, Oh Allah, they have misguided lots of people. فَمَنْ تَبِعَنِي, whoever follows me from those people, فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي, he is with me. وَمَنْ عَصَانِي, who disobeys me, destroy him, kill him, فَإِنَّكَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Ibrahim is saying, Ya Allah, those who follow me are with me. But those who disobey me, Ya Allah, you are Ghafur Rahim, forgive them and have mercy on them. Ya Allah. Al-Islam calls for mercy. Notice, al-ayah also, Isa alayhi salam. إن تعذبهم فإنهم عبادك وإن تغفر لهم فإنك أنت العزيز الحكيم. Oh Allah, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reciting these two ayahs, one about Ibrahim, one about Isa, on behalf of Isa. Isa saying, Oh Allah, if you torture them, the meaning of the ayah, if you punish them, they are your slaves. They're not following right, they're disobeying, they're this, they're that. If you punish them, they are your slaves. You can punish them. But if you forgive them, you are Aziz, Hakim. هذا دين الإسلام. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he reads these two ayah, one by Ibrahim, one by Isa alayhi salam, and he starts crying, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he cries, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He sees that Ibrahim is so merciful about his ummah. Even those who disobey him, he is merciful about them. He is reciting the Quran, telling us how Isa is also merciful on his ummah. Though they disobeyed him, but he is so merciful. He says, إِنَّكَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. So the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam cries. He cries, and then he says, Ya Rabbi ummati, Ya Rabbi ummati. The ummah of Ibrahim, Ya Allah, Ibrahim made dua. The ummah of Isa, Isa made dua. Ya Rabbi ummati, Ya Rabbi ummati. The narration says that Allah summoned Jibreel and told him, go and ask Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, why is he crying? Jibreel comes, runs to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he asks him, says, Al-Jabbar, why are you crying, Ya Rasulullah? What is making you cry, Ya Habib Allah? He says, Ya Jibreel, he tells him, Ibrahim said this about his ummah, made dua. Isa said this, and my ummah, where is it, Ya Jibreel? And Jibreel goes, and Allah tells Jibreel, go tell Muhammad that we will please you in your ummah, we will give you in your ummah until you are pleased. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. He loves you. He was crying for us. He was weeping for us, making sujood for us, asking, Ummati, Ummati. So that Allah told him, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. Allah will سَيُرْضِيكَ فِي أُمَّتِكَ وَلَا يَسُوَكَ. He will not disappoint you in your ummah. If you ask, you will be granted. سَلْ تُعْطَى وَاشْفَعْ تُشَفَّعْ. Ask and you will be granted, and intercede and you will be given. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Why should we love him? Because, not only because he loves you, but also because he would have loved to be with us. He would have loved to meet us. He would have loved to be with you. He said, وَدَدْتُ from would, I would have wished. I want that I would meet إِخْوَانِي الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَرَوْنِي. Though my brothers who believed in me, yet they didn't see me. I wish that I would meet them. He wants to be with us. He is extending his heart and hand to us. Because he is also أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. Allah says in the Quran, النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. He is more caring about you than your own self. And therefore, you know what he said? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, anyone of the believers who died, Sahaba in front of them, any of you died, and you owe somebody something, they can come and take it from me. I will give it. I will pay you back. I will pay them back for you on your behalf. He is more responsible for the believers than themselves. النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم من كنت مولاه. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, he is the مولى of الكائنات. عليه الصلاة مولى. من كنت مولاه means I am the مولى of everyone. فهذا علي مولاه. اللهم والي من والاه وعادي من عاداه. Why should we love him? Well, because loving him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has a special effect in this dunya. Hadith is known and all of you know it. When Ubay ibn Ka'b came and told him, Ya Rasulullah, how many times or how much of my time, of my dua should I allocate to make salah and salam on you? Until he said, if I make all my dua, salah and salam on you, is that good? He says, إِذَنْ تُكْفَى هَمَّكَ. Then you will be sufficed from all your hardship in this dunya. But why else? Because of this hadith. Because his love will help you on the akhirah. He will be waiting for you on the akhirah if you love him. Reserve your seat in Jannah today. Today, not tomorrow. Today. How do you do that? And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, أَقْرَبُكُمْ مِنِّي مَجْلِسًا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَكْثَرُكُمْ صَلَاةً عَلَيْهِ. Those of you who have the closest seats to me, يوم القيامة, are those who make the most salah and salam on me. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Reserve your seat. I don't hear salah on the Prophet. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina wa ala alihi wa sallam. Listen, if you want to reserve it today. And it's always on first come, first served basis. And the ummah is a lot of people. So where is your seat for Jannah? Where are you standing? But more than that, Al-Arabi, the Bedouin came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, said, Ya Rasulullah, متى الساعة? Hadith Sahih. When is it there? Arabi Bedouin passing by, he's worrying maybe tomorrow and when is so what? When is the day of judgment? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told him, وَمَاذَا أَعْدَدْتَ لَهَا? What have you prepared for it? The man was not ready for such a question. But I'm asking you, he was expecting maybe that, okay, next year by this time, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 100 years, maybe in 1,000. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked that. What have you prepared for it? Irshad. Irshad in what? Before we go into the meaning, the objective of the hadith, for those who waste their time in insignificant issues, those who waste their energies in insignificant matters, those who waste their breath trying to fight over secondary issues, especially those who have ilm. Oh, the second, make your heart big. So if it's 100 years or 200 years, what's the difference? What have you prepared for the akhirah? No, Shaykh. When is the dabba coming? Is it going to come out of Mecca or out of Ta'if? What difference does it make to you? 40 miles will make a difference to you? What have you prepared for the dabba when it comes? For the beast? When the Mahdi, will he be coming out of Medina or will he be coming out of Damascus? But one narration says this, narration says that. When is the Mahdi going to come in your heart? The Mahdi means from the Hidayah. When is the Hidayah going to come to your heart first? What difference does it make? Are you ready for the Mahdi? What have you prepared for the Mahdi? Or if the Mahdi comes tomorrow, you say, you know what, are you really the Mahdi? Oh, they're saying the Mahdi, man, I don't think so. Oh, gotta go to Japan tomorrow work. We're laughing. This is reality. It's reality. Because the priority list is confused. The love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is not on the priority list. Which number is it? Number 12, number 13, number 15? Where is it? Is it on the list at all? And that's a question, that's a reply. Ulama always say for those who indulge in secondary issues that are useless. Not for the sake of knowledge, but for the sake of argument. What have you prepared for it? Your qiyamah is when you die. That's what your qiyamah is. When you pass away, your qiyamah. When can you pass away? Any minute. Anyway. The man said, Ya Rasulullah, nothing. I have not prepared much. Except that I love Allah and His Prophet. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, you are with whom you love. أنت مع من أحببت. Anas radiallahu anhu, hadith Rajul Bukhari al-Adab and others. Anas says, we have never, Sahaba radiallahu anhum, we have never been happy about a hadith more than our happiness on this hadith. Yani if you do your obligatory portion of the ibadat and the tawheed, and you love the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then you will be with him. Loving أنت مع من أحببت. You are with those you love. We have to check our hearts. Who do we love, number one? Because you are with those who you love. So if you love, I'm not saying you should, if you want to play soccer for Manchester United, please go for Liverpool. You don't have to be from Liverpool as well. Right? Or whatever it is. Practice your hobby. But who is on your number one priority? Singers, players, this and that, this sect and this group and this and this and this. Who is number one? And the reason for that, so you can secure your place with Akhirah. And you are with who you love. Therefore, Anas radiallahu anhu, I'll finish with this. I know I've probably taken more time than I should have. But Anas radiallahu anhu says, Allah is my witness, that I love Abu Bakr, I love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I love Abu Bakr and Umar, and I wish that Allah assembles me with them. Look at this man who is ready to go. Because the other people, when they are not ready to go, what happens? When the angel of al-maut, death comes, you see him, he's looking all different kinds. He's holding to something, he doesn't want to go. He's not ready to go. And then those who lose conscious before they die, those who are singers, they repeat all the songs they learn. And those who have been busy with the book of Allah and the Salam of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they also repeat whatever they learned. For one, خُذُوهُ فَغُلُّوهُ. Take him and put him in chains. And for the other, يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةِ ارْجِعِي إِلَىٰ رَبِّكِ رَاضِيَةً مَرْضِيَّةً. Come back, please, and you shall be pleased. The heart is like this. It's like a bag. Imam Al-Ata al-Sikandari says, نَفْسَكْ إِن لَمْ تَشْغَلْهَا بِالْحَقِّ شَغَلْتَ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Your heart, either fill it with batil or fill it with haqq. It does not take two things at the same time. حُبُّ الْقُرْآنِ وَحُبُّ الشَّيْطَانِ فِي قَلْبِ عَبْدٍ لَا يَجْتَمِعَانِ. The hubb of the Quran and the hubb of shaitan in the same heart can never be together. Which one is your heart there? The hubb of the shaitan or hubb al-Quran? Fill your heart with that so you can be assembled with that. Because some people also, the Quran will come as a witness. Some people, the masjid, will come as a witness. وَرَجُلٌ حديث يوم صحيح وَرَجُلٌ قَلْبُهُ مُعَلَّقٌ بِالْمَسْجِدِ. His love is in the masjid. The awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, it's okay, I'll give just a couple more minutes. People usually, where do you feel comfortable? When you go, let's say, visit your friends or even your family. I feel comfortable in my one room. I want my bed. You don't feel comfortable anywhere else except your home. Usually, even if it's your closest relative. It's not my house. It's, yeah, you are my cousin, I love you, but you know, this is the time. In your heart even, you feel comfortable in your home. The awliya of Allah, they feel most comfortable in the house of Allah. That's their home. That's where the qalb is. The house, Baytullah. Baytullah is there. So therefore, their heart, رَجُلًا قَلْبُهُ مُعَلَّقٌ. This heart took this man, because of the love to the masjid, took this man to Jannah. Not the legs. The legs did not take this man to Jannah. No. His heart took this man to Jannah. Because the heart, like the masajid. And there are many people whose legs take them to Jannah. Legs and the heart takes them to Jannah. And this man didn't need legs. He only needed the heart. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to reflect and to see who is in our hearts. Where is the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in our hearts? And remember from the examples of the Sahaba and why we should love him and all these things that we talked about should incite us to understand the glorious status of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we can make more salah on him every day. So his image is in front of us every day. So his dhikr is on our tongues every day. Because if you love someone, you always talk about them. Sahih? Those of you who got engaged or recently got engaged or whatever, lovebirds. What do? They're always talking. He just goes, oh, she's doing mashallah. And Allah bless me, give me tawfiq, very good family, mashallah. I should praise all the time, you know. Always talking about it. And then they're always on that SMS, text messaging, and calling and all this sort of thing. Always talking about it. Planning. If he's not talking to her, he's planning, what am I going to do when we have this, what kind of furniture? Always making dhikr of the mahbub. If you love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will be even more than this. You will always be talking about him. The things that will be coming out of your tongues will be his hadith. And the things that you would want to practice will be his sunnah. And the image that you have in front of you would be his image. That you wish that you want to see him. So you can really, Allah can give you the ni'mah of seeing him in his dunya. How many people make dua? Saying, oh Allah, irzuqni ru'yat al-nabi. Oh Allah, give me the rizq of seeing your beloved in this dunya. We always say, oh Allah, give me 100 pounds. Oh Allah, I need about 3,000 pounds. Oh Allah, my university, I really need to pass this test, very difficult. Oh Allah, we have the wish list. How about the wish list? Oh Allah, give me the ni'mah of seeing your beloved sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do we make this dua? We have to ask ourselves. The poet says, and I'll finish with this time, Sayyadi, from the Rawas, Sayyid Rawas, it says, Teh gharaman, falil gharami rijali. Teh gharaman, gharam means higher than love, ishq. Teh means lose yourself in the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Lose yourself, lose your limbs, melt in the love and the ishq of your beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Your everything should melt in his love sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Teh gharaman, falil gharami rijalu. Not everyone is a man of gharam. Not everyone is a man of love. The claimers are a lot. وكل يدعي وصلا بليلى وليلى لا تقر لهم بذاك. The poet talks about one female who she was apparently very beautiful, and everyone says, like she loves me. But then the poet says she doesn't love any of them. But they all claim that she loves them. Name is big, whereas كل دعوة لا برهان عليها باطلة. You have to substantiate your da'wah, your claim. تهكراما. Are you mesmerized? Are you melting in the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Is your heart moving to the love, to the dhikr, to the seerah, to the name of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because al-gharam takes men, not males, because there's a difference between males and men. Yani not all males are men. Al-Quran does not say dhukur, says min al-mu'minina rijal, men, not min al-mu'minina dhukur. Many males are whatever. Men. And in that meaning, it can also be meaning women. Females could be men like that in that sense. In the sense of iman, in the sense of sacrifice, in the sense of putting the effort to love Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because it takes an effort to be a man like this. Not for everybody. Imam al-Junayd al-Baghdadi, Sayyid al-Ta'ifa, he says, we did not take this knowledge from al-Qil wal-Qal. He said, she said, and I am saying, and lip service. Sahab wal-Ju'. Spending the nights in worship and staying hungry on the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how it's happened. It takes men. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among the men of ishq of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi. The attachment requires detachment. لأن الصوفية رضي الله عنها هم الأصول أصول الفصول. Because there's usul for the usul. To arrive, there's a path. من أصول الوصول عند السادة الصوفية رضي الله تعالى عنهم is التخلي. يعني you have to be detached so you can be attached. Because if you're attached to the shaitan, you're not going to be attached to the Quran. You have to be detached from a shaitan, so you're attached to the Quran. And therefore, Al-Imam al-Ata al-Secondary, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said this is a wisdom, one of his wisdoms. He says, فَرَّقْ قَلْبَكَ مِنَ الْأَغْيَارِ يَمْلَأْهُ بِالْمَعَارِفِ وَالْأَنْوَارِ وَالْأَسْرَارِ. Empty your heart from the aghyar. Aghyar is a plural of ghayr. Ghayr means other. Yani empty your heart from anything other than Allah, and Allah will fill your heart with the nur and the secrets. Simple, try it. وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا. They're walking on earth in peace. People are cursing them. People cussing them. People belittling them. People killing them. Al-Awliya, most of them got killed in the slaughter. Al-Awliya. How many? 300,000 some? How many things survived and died a normal death, per se? Very, very few, if any. Very, very few. Most what happened? Killed. Al-Awliya that walked on the path of the Anbiya also got killed. Sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But did that matter to them? Did that change their qualities? No. As the poet says, well, before I say that, I'll tell you this. The number two that is important in attachment and detachment is suhbah. الصحبة. What does الصحبة mean? Companionship. Look for a companion whose words lead you to Allah and whose hal elevates your iman. So your iman be elevated when you're around them, and your hal becomes with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be around these people. Because if you're alone, you're easily taken. But when you are with the jama'ah making dhikr of Allah, when you are spending time in the masjid, when you are volunteering for the good deeds, for amal al-khair, for the ta'awun al-birri wa taqwa, cooperating for taqwa, for this, dedicating time for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are with the jama'ah. And then when you are doing these two things, do not worry about those who are singing outside and those who are eager to destroy you, and those who are eager to belittle you, and those, because the Anbiya were subject to all that. لا تأسفن على غدر الزمان لطالما رقصت على جثث الأسود كلاب. The poet says, do not be upset, do not be sad for the betrayal of the time, when the life betrays you. Because oftentimes the dogs dance on the dead bodies of the lions. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّهَا بِرَقْصِهَا عَلَتْ عَلَى أَسْيَادِهَا. But don't ever think for a second that because the dogs are dancing over the lions' bodies, that they are higher than the lions. تَبْقَى الْأُسُودُ أُسُودًا وَالْكِلَابُ كِلَابُ. The lions will always remain lions, and the dogs will always remain dogs. You do what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about the rest. And if you are with the hubb of the Prophet ﷺ, it will show on you. Don't worry about that. You will be taken care of. You are on autopilot.